If the TV show catalyzes you into genuinely reawakening your ancestral beliefs and reconnecting with those ancestors, then fucking by all means, more power to you. Hey, awesome. If, on the other hand, you watch the TV show, say, oh, Vikings are cool, right? Yeah, I think I've got a little Viking in me, so to speak. Notice how I'm deliberately misusing the term. Oh, I've got a little bit of Viking in me. And, and all of a sudden you start posting, you start virtue signaling on social media just how Viking you are. And you don't go any further into that. You don't actually read the Hobble You don't actually. But I am absolutely 100%. I'm not kidding. I'm 100% teaching them family martial arts. We have family martial arts now. When I said I've repaired a lot about generational heritage, I mean I've repaired a lot. We have our own family martial arts now. I'm teaching them that. The family business. It's not just simply you built a company. It's a whole lot of things. Their heritage, their sense of rooting.
It's called discipline.
Yeah. Yeah, and not even actually. It's more than just simply discipline. It's a reason to live.
Yeah,
it's you have their. Daddy did all that. I went and got called all these names. Had my life threatened from this group, that group. Got put on a neo-Nazi hit list, which is a different story for a different time. Daddy went through all these things. I fought all these figurative dragons so that you could have a sense of rooting. So that you could have a Platonian place in society, so that you could have, a company to take over. You don't have to worry about going broke or homeless. You don't have to worry about these things anymore. Yet at the same time, it is not. I don't ever want them to feel like they are unworthy of it. It's the point.
No.
Right. So it's like there's a difference between, building a kid to be worthy of the pedigree, to accomplish more than me. Mm-hmm. Your sons, as you said, your sons will be your rivals.
Yeah.
Giving them what they need to do that.
Yeah.
And then just simply buying everything for them and versus buying everything for them, slapping on a red cape and saying, you're a Spartan. No, they're not.
Yeah.
So, no. My kids assume the CEO seats, they will be CEOs.
Yeah.
They'll be ready.
That's why I sent my son to Kendo, basically.
Right.
He won a tournament. He got a gold medal and everything. And
congratulations!
As soon as he won that medal, I said, "Now you're gonna be a target."
Yes,
because people are gonna be trying. Ever since that day, he has not won a tournament because I told him everyone will become better than you, and you have to start becoming better yourself. You have to improve yourself. And he's been slow. And the thing is, like, when I ask him, do you like Kendo? And he says, yes, I like Kendo. And that's all I need to hear from him. That he likes what he's doing. And he doesn't like to do homework like math and stuff like that. And I told him, like, when he was like kind of crying, I said to him, don't worry, I didn't like math either. But look at where I am right now. I'm an English teacher. I'm creating like some role-playing game. You don't have to be good at everything, I said. But you have to do it. That's a different thing. You don't have to be good at it, but you have to do it. It's like when you to survive, you have to take a job at McDonald's.
Yes.
Just to pay your bills.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to teach him.
Right. I totally understand.
Even if it's a low-paying job, take it. And don't be one of those guys who get a degree in something and then expect that everything is going to fall into your lap. That doesn't work like that. It's like when they say like... oh God, I'm gonna get flare now. Anyways, when people get modern art, it's usually like, what do you want on your Subway?
Right.
So it But it depends also at that point, because if someone is really good at modern art,
Mm.
they're gonna become successful.
Yeah,
Some of them are gonna have to take jobs that they need to do.
I've had to do that.
Yeah,
I've had to do that.
everyone had to do that.
There's
Everyone.
no shame in that. That's part
My
of that's part of
first my first job was a server at a ice cream bar that was located inside of a Chinese shop.
and there's nothing wrong with that. When I got home from the
No,
military, I was a chef. I had to be a chef at a Bonefish Grill. It's the
that's
restaurant.
not stressful at all, right?
Yeah, no, it was I was getting paid $10 an hour, and I was getting screamed at,
Yeah, it was not
over like the
stressful.
tiniest thing, and I knew deep down like, okay, this is not going to be forever. I need to do, I was chef.
That's the attitude. Like, this is not forever, but I need to do
You're
this.
right. In order,
That's what you need
you,
to have.
you have to go to this. You have to get to. In order to get to this place, you can't get there from here to here. There's no platform there.
Mm.
You have to step here in order to step onto this place,
Yeah,
onto this platform. He's like, you have to go here in order to get to here, and yeah,
and that's why the the praise of when I found my spiritual strength within all this is like, and it's basically this is the stanza that basically it's changed everything when I read it. Like, cattle die, kinsmen die, all men are mortal. Words of praise will never perish, nor a noble name.
hmm.
It basically, if you're a good man and live a good life, and it's like Maximus says, and that's from Marcus Aurelius, what we do in
Life
life
echoes into eternity.
echoes in eternity. And it's funny that this kind of phrase is also in Chinese lore, like with Sun Tzu. Like this, like what you do in life echoes in eternity. It's like if you do something good or like do something that has an impact and importance, not just by I mean, we can take anyone basically from that part. It's like Martin Luther King. We can take how do you say Elon Musk. We can take any kind of people that like. I mean, Martin Luther King. Did he have a successful business or anything?
Not that
No,
I'm
he was
aware
just
of.
a philosopher, right?
Yeah, yeah.
A
Political philosopher.
preacher.
Yeah.
And we have Marcus Aurelius, we have Scipio, we have
Seneca was a
uh,
slave.
Seneca. Yes,
He was a
exactly.
slave. Yet we're still talking about him to this day.
Yes, and he even talks about slaves being slaves because they deserve it. And it's like, what? You used to be a slave, but that's because he outgrew his that kind of mentality that I'm no longer a slave. I'm a citizen. So those who people are just accepting their fate, they are there, and I'm
Mm.
here because I'm thinking about them.
That
And
that
you know, like in Roman society, the most sought out after slaves was greased slaves, not like pleasure slaves, not gladiators, Thracians or Germanic. It was Greek slaves that were sought after because they could teach the kids philosophy and
right,
everything.
right, yeah, that makes sense.
They were the highest prize ones. And I remember that scene in. Have you seen this TV series Rome? It was like 3 seasons.
Years ago, but yes,
Yes, out 2 seasons maybe.
I
So
don't remember every detail, but I have seen
no,
it.
but there's one scene when Caesar's slave goes up to the basically the how to say the gang leader and says, if you're planning to use Roman soldiers as assassins, please consolidate us before you do it. So basically, he's warning him: if you do this again, we will kill you. Basically, and then he goes off and he drinks from the public watering. A slave drinks from the public water. That's unheard of. He has the right because he's Caesar's slave. He has that right. And when he drops the cup, and that's the last scene of that like, it's like hitting the, and then it fades to black, and then the, I would say, credits come up. And it's like, oh my god, that's such a powerful scene. Like, he's just a Greek slave, but he has more power than the strongest mob boss in the Roman citadel. He has more power than him.
Right.
And he's a slave. And that's like, just because he's personally the Julius Caesar slave. So the point is, like, what you want to do with your life and get to a certain part. And people put up their own roadblocks around the way. You just have to fucking smash through them. Oh, sorry. It's YouTube, I shouldn't say. You can bleep that one out. You have to smash through all the roadblocks around the way to get to that point. And that's probably what you had to do after Iceland and stuff like that. You have to smash through the roadblocks that were put up before you.
Well, in the words of Marcus Aurelius, the obstacle is the way. And I think that is,
yes.
It's not actually that you have to smash through the obstacle. It's that you become the obstacle. You embody the obstacle. You integrate it into who you are, and you triple down. And actually, one of the videos that it was a live stream that I posted a couple years ago. I think I was in Spain. I talk about how I got out of the economical trap of China. Part of the reason why I went into the mountains to begin with, not entirely, but part of it, was to keep my cost of living low in order to reinvest that cash into the businesses that I have now. But the problem with the problem that I ran into was that the Chinese renminbi, or yuan, was at the time worth 6 times less than the American dollar. As an English teacher in China, I was getting paid $600 to $900 per month, which American dollars per month, which in America that is worse than poverty level. That's like that's slave wages. But in China, six times more. You're actually upper middle class, and there's almost no upper middle class. It's usually in China you're either very, very, very poor. At least modern China, you're typically either very, very poor or super fucking rich. And by the way, don't worry about the F-bombs. I'm not editing them. I willfully demonetized my channel anyhow. So it's like, speak freely, right? So it's there is an upper middle class. English teachers, a lot of foreigners are typically upper middle class, but there's so few of us in comparison to the rest of the size of the population. It's like the upper middle class is like a thin veil that barely exists. It's like the veil of it's like the mucus layer of an egg. Like it doesn't, it exists, but it doesn't, right? It's not pragmatically. But anyway, so what I did was $12,000 is more than enough to get started with a consulting business if you're highly educated in the field. So what I did was keep my cost of living low. And when I say low, I mean low. I mean live off grid in the mountains low. While I saved up all of that money, if I was getting paid $600 to $900 per month, American dollars, that's actually within a year. If I was there for 4 years, that's several tens of thousands of dollars. That's nearly $40,000 you got, nearly. And then what I was also getting was the GI Bill stipend directly deposited into my bank account. The GI Bill was the U.S. military monthly living payments to support you while you go to college. So what I did was I activated my U.S. military GI Bill benefits that I earned, and went to college while collecting. I didn't spend a dime of that money, at least not at first. I just let it all pay off whatever debts that I had, and as it came into my account, pay off whatever debts that I had, and just save the rest, save the rest, save the rest with my teaching income. Just save it. Spend as little as possible. Spend whatever you need to buy whatever maybe progressively upgrade your equipment in the mountains, which you can see pictures of, the early pictures when my hair is short, and I've got like fucking shorts on. I've got literal like fucking camo shorts going into the goddamn mountains.
I've seen the pictures where you're holding an umbrella over a Chinese guy.
Yeah, well, I think that came. I think that came. I forget what. That was either my first or second. No, my wife was actually pregnant in that photo.
Yeah.
So that was the year I left China, and you can see how long my hair was. But during the first 2 years, when my wife wasn't in the picture, you can see different photos of my Instagram, Facebook albums. My hair was short, and my equipment was non-existent. I didn't even have a tent. I had nothing. I had like a little mini axe and a little like a 50 kwai axe, and the 50 kwai, that's like a $2 axe basically. And it's like
doesn't matter if its purpose is useful.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, it served this purpose. I had to like go overboard trying to keep it from rusting, using animal fats and vegetable oil, but it did the job. Clearly, I survived, right? But
yeah, exactly.
I took some of the teaching income and gradually reinvested into getting better and better gear that you can see photos of. Like by my 4th year in China, I was like, I had nice gear. I had like cold resistant clothing, and I had an actual tent. I had I wasn't a wild man. I wasn't fucking Rambo out there. And I had a bow and arrow.
Have you read the book Rambo?
No, I've not.
I read it. He actually escapes the police house naked.
Wow.
But they didn't want to show Sylvester Stallone's dong flapping about.
Right.
He actually gets jeans and some clothing from some hillbillies that are doing some moonshining business up in the mountains. So he trades that for the secret, basically. So, yeah. I'm glad you were not that guy.
No, it wasn't that extreme, but it was extreme, but it wasn't that extreme.
No. So yeah, I cannot believe that actually, because I mean, it takes resilience to experience all the all the seasons, so to speak. Because I'm from Sweden, because we experience both hard cold, spring, summer. Summer is hot in Sweden. Many people don't believe it. They think it's like cold all year long, but it's not. And then they have autumn when you really starts to phone in that, oh shit, I need to save up some stuff like firewood. I need to save up food and stuff like that. But I think our experiences as we speak it is that your more has been more of a experience of the both integrated physical and spiritual journey to grow within yourself, the growth within yourself. While I had not had the same background as you, had more of the spiritual. I'm being privileged, as many people will say. I had a good family, I had a good father, and I had a good mother, and I had a good family. But at the same time, I had my own hardships throughout life, like everyone has.
Indeed.
Right? Good night. And I grew up in a very loving home, stable home, not like you at all. But still, I had to deal with some demons within myself.
Of course. Oh, of course. Absolutely. I would,
And the thing is, like, what people always compare these days, like how hard their life has been and like what they're going through right now, is that everyone has their own kind of ritual passage. Like you said,
yeah.
like younger people they have to have the trial of fire at some point, and people have something. They have to have something to believe in, even if it's like it's not a religion. It's always a theology of something,
Mm.
like a theory of something. It can be just like the Abrahamic religion. It can be the pagan religion, Slavic, Hinduism, Buddhism, whatever. Or it can be the like believing in communism. It can be believing in economics. It can be believing in like progressiveness or like
Yeah.
perseverance and
Ideological.
stuff
Yeah.
like that. So everyone has to always when they say like they don't believe in a higher religion,
No,
that's a
you believe in
total
something.
faultless.
It's
Yeah,
just
you always
it.
believe in something.
It takes a different form.
Yes, it does.
Like in communism, the state replaces God, but you're still that's still something you believe in. The state. The state
Yeah,
is.
yeah, but
You know.
yeah, but if people believe in it, that's fine. If people believe in the true how do you say Shia, like Muslims,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
they have that belief in like in Saudi Arabia, what they believe in is that what they believe in. That's it. It's like
Right.
what they believe in, or what we believe in the pagan religion, or like Christianity, or like the. But the thing is, like everyone seems to be turning towards what's like thanks to the internet, everything seems to be turning towards what's popular, and that's a very dangerous thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm glad that as we share our own respective stories,
Mm.
it's not the TV show Vikings. Like I want everybody watching this to notice, I never said, "Oh yeah, I got really interested in the Norse because of a fucking TV show."
No, 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 no,
Right?
no.
It's like I'm glad you gave me the opportunity, Bjorn, to make that very clear.
To be honest, if people find back their roots through a TV show, I don't mind that at all. Actually, if
Mm.
it's like if they're like, oh, what's more of this, then they can actually start to reading by themselves, and that's like in the pagan religion they say like when they say like, oh, Nazis believed in pagan religions and they are bad and stuff like that, or like also true brothers or like something like that. I'm like, yes, but the thing is like in paganism they didn't have a state of church. They didn't have a
Right. Right.
guy who
True.
said from the like this is how things are. It's how you practice it by yourself. That's the most vital and most important part
I agree with that. The only
of paganism.
the only problem I have with the TV show, with people who were catalyzed into reawakening their ancestral beliefs due to the TV show. It's not the TV show.
Yeah,
It's when they fail to go all the way with that
yeah,
and actually learn what Vikings were really like, how they really dressed. It's like there are plenty of people who they watch the TV show and they stay
mm,
at the TV show. That's all their knowledge. You know, they're. I wouldn't consider that genuinely going on a respective journey, and I would call that superficial and lazy.
mm,
If on the one hand, and this is just simply my opinion, if the TV show catalyzes you into genuinely reawakening your ancestral beliefs and reconnecting with those ancestors, then fucking by all means, more power to you. Hey,
yeah.
awesome. If on
Like,
the other hand,
yeah,
you watch the TV show, say, "Oh, Vikings are cool," all right? Yeah, I think I've got a little Viking in me, so to speak. Notice how I'm deliberately misusing the term. Yeah, oh,
yeah,
I've got a little bit of Viking in me, and and all of a sudden you start posting on, you start virtue signaling on social media just how Viking you are, and you don't go any further into that. You don't
I
actually read the Havamal. You don't
when
actually.
people say this is how Viking I am, I don't believe in that. This is how Norse I am.
But
I
you
would
get what I'm
say.
saying? Like I'm
Yeah,
deliberately saying that.
yeah.
This is not me. This is not it's not actually me. This is not how I would use it. But I'm talking about those archetypal people who are like that. It's like this is I'm more Viking than you. Well, I've got this percentage or I've got that percentage, and it's like no, it's like it's not actually what it's really about. Did you actually read the Havamal? Do you even know what that is? Do you know any of the Icelandic sagas? Do you know any?
Exactly.
Do you know? And did you do any of that homework at all, or do you actually like? You see? Do you know that that's not even the kind of sword that they would use on the TV show or whatever? Do you know that that's there? It's like it's fine from one angle, so long as they actually go through with the other end of it. It's like understand it is a TV show.
Yeah, exactly.